Sooner fans, you really need to go check out our podcast partners. First off, teambarfinder.com. Download their app on the Apple Store or on Google Play. Find out where you can watch your Sooners locally at your local pub. Also, go check out tailgateconnect.com for the best tailgates across the country. And go learn football from Jason Young, JY, and the Trench Warfare Report. www.trenchwarfarereport.com. Let's get this going. Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner Football Fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer up.
Boomer Terry.
Caleb is on the sidelines tonight, out delivering ices, and we are coming at you from the Podcast Palace.
Well, we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma,
but we do have eligibility left. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing good.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Man, my voice just went like I hit puberty again. But this is episode 193 of 193. So we're on our 193rd episode. Make sure and follow us on Twitter. Sooner FB Fans is our handle, and like our Facebook page if you don't already.
Can't believe this is our 193rd episode.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy. But we got some topics coming up for you tonight or today on today's podcast. We're going to talk a little bit of Sooner baseball. We told everybody we're going to give some Sooner baseball updates, and we're going to try to stick to that. And, we got the Combine coming up. Sooners in the Combine. We're going to talk about those four fellas and what the experts say and whether or not we think the experts are right. And then plus any other topics, racy or non-racy, funny. Oh, and we also have sports we don't watch. So we're going to do another segment of sports we don't watch, if I could find that. There it is, on the old computer here. There are so many that we don't watch. We're probably not going to get to watch the Olympics this year.
Why not?
It's in Japan, and they're talking about
they might want to think about changing that location.
Yeah, that they may not be able to do it because of the coronavirus. And I'm trying to think of the guy's name. The American Olympic Committee chairman. Guess what his name is?
No clue.
Oh, come on, Rob. You're going to laugh when I tell you. Make some guesses. It kind of go. There used to be a NASCAR driver with a funny name.
Dick Trickle.
Very good. Dick Trickle. This guy, his name is similar to, sorry about that, guys, similar to Dick Trickle's name.
Is it his little brother Cole Trickle?
No, it's not.
He was in a movie. What was it called? Some Days. Thunder Days. Days of Thunder. That's it.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder. Cole Trickle. They're not kin.
They're not kin.
Okay.
The Olympic Committee, I believe his name is Dick House.
Oh, dang it. I wasn't going to laugh. Shoot. All right, let's do that again.
Yeah, the United States Olympic Committee. Let me make sure. I know it's Dick something. I'm pretty sure it's Dick House. Let's see. I got the old website pulled up here. History, structure, leadership. Board of directors. Good God, man, they got. Oh, there's too many people in here for me to.
I guess I didn't realize that it was in Japan.
Yeah, I think it's Sochi. So,
wasn't it there before, or that was winter, wasn't it? Or is this winter coming up? Which Olympics is coming up?
They're saying in April or June. June, I think it is.
It's got to be the Summer Olympics then, right?
Yeah, it's the Summer Olympics.
All right, or is it winter then? There.
Good point. I have no idea. But anyway, it's a funny name. But let's talk a little bit of Sooner news. Anything jump out at you? I mean, nothing really happened this week on Twitter as far as the Sooners go.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't had time to really browse any Sooner stuff. I just get, I get the updates on, softball, baseball, and all that business. And of course, I was up at the Chesapeake last night for the OU Tech game where we kind of kicked some booty.
Yeah. So how's that going? The two jobs.
It's a little bit crazy. So, yeah, I spent most of the day at OU yesterday, and then I went up to Chesapeake for the game last night. And so I was working from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And today I didn't even go to the Chesapeake. I just stayed at OU, but I didn't get off till 6. So anyway.
And then what? You got something going tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, Thunder game tomorrow, and then Jason Aldean the day after.
Oh boy.
And then Winter Jam the day after. And then Lauren Daigle the day after that. And, of course, in between there, we have men's basketball. We have OU softball this weekend. The baseball team's, I think, in Houston.
Yeah, they're in Houston.
So, but I got softball games all weekend long that I'll definitely be at. I think it's going to be like 72 degrees on Saturday.
It's supposed to be nice on Saturday.
I'm wearing my bikini.
Oh, God. Here's a question that was put out by Yahoo Sports today on Twitter, Rob. You've been kidnapped. You get to send one sports-related tweet that would alarm your followers that you're in trouble. What would you tweet?
Not wearing a buzzer.
Mine was pistols firing. So, yeah, we can talk a little bit about the Houston Astros debacle that's going on in spring training. They're getting booed and thrown at. And
it is going to be an interesting year in professional baseball this year.
Well, like you were saying before the podcast, we're going to have to watch every single Astros game just to watch the fights.
Well, you've heard there are honor among thieves and that kind of stuff. There's justice in prison.
Yeah.
Well, so there is. You know it. If they put people in there to do,
gotcha.
unspeakable moral, atrocities, they're going to get them. But baseball, they have their own. There's a whole community. I mean, you don't mess with them, and if you do, they're going to get you. So I'm pretty sure the Astros are going to be fighting all year long.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to defend themselves.
I mean, he's really probably going to get lit up.
I was watching HBO last night, Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, and he made a good point. He didn't stand up and really preach, but he just kind of talked about it a little bit, and that baseball did itself a disservice by not just simply pulling the championship. Not crowning somebody else a champion, just saying nobody's champion that year.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
No, I agree. Because
they should have just pulled it and said,
well, hey. I mean, you've got the Yankees out there that are saying, you know what, Altuve took a MVP that should have been Judge's.
Yeah.
You've got pitchers like Kershaw, who threw, you and I were talking about this earlier, who threw 51 sliders in the
World Series.
Yeah, in the World Series. And they didn't swing at one of them.
Yeah, that's just dumb planning right there. They should have said, should have signaled for it's a slider curveball, but swing. Not to not swing at 51 of the same pitches. That's not just happenstance, guys. That just doesn't happen.
No, right. Well, especially that slider looks like a fastball until
the last second.
Till you look stupid swinging it.
Yeah.
So 51 and not one of them was swung at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad. And you know that he was rocked and pulled out early.
Yeah.
So that's got, that has everything to do with his stats, and it has a whole lot to do with his psyche.
Yeah.
Psyche or whatever. So I don't know. I think
it's freaking nuts. But real quick, let's jump on this real quick. And this is for Oklahoma listeners, but people around the country that listen to us, the best local sports radio personalities, Rob. They were named in the Norman Transcript Reader's
were we
Choice.
On there?
No.
Oh.
But best local radio personality. Who got number one? Who do you think?
Toby Rowland.
Toby Rowland got number 1. Number 2.
Number 2, I would go with, my personal preferences aside, who would I think?
Well, just your personal preferences.
So my personal preference would be probably Toby, then probably James Hale, and then probably I really like Barry Trammell, so I'd probably put him up there somewhere. And then you know what? I used to would easily say Al Ashbeck, but
I can't do Al anymore.
and I don't mean to say anything bad about him, but him and some of the guys that have been doing this forever, it's almost like they're burnt out on doing it, and Al is going to a commercial just as soon as he possibly can.
Yeah.
So I don't even listen to the animal at all anymore.
Yeah. Well, here it is according to the Norman transcript: Toby Rowland, Teddy Lehman, Al Ashbeck, Sam Mays, and David Kelso. Personally, I think Sam probably should be up there a little bit higher.
Yeah, I like Sam a lot.
Yeah, maybe above Teddy, I think.
I don't know. I like Teddy too.
Yeah.
The thing about Teddy is, and Sam does this a lot, is Teddy brings a lot of stuff, a lot of experience.
That's what I was
in his
fixing to say.
words. You
Yeah.
know, there's a whole lot of, hey, this is how it works in the locker room. You know,
Yeah.
the stuff that we were in locker rooms, but just through high school and of course a brief time there in college, but not in the pros and certainly not at major D1 football. Locker room, so.
And they know what, and they put it into a perspective that us as fans can relate to.
Yeah.
I know some of us out there think, well, absolutely, that's what I would think. There's sometimes those two guys say something, I'm like, okay, that makes sense why that's like that, or, Toby, I think, does one of the big, and Toby, you would think, is a lot of people out there, if you don't get to listen to Toby, you'd think because he's Sooner, he's the voice of the Sooners for everything, that he would, that's all he talks about. Toby goes into everything. He'll talk about all the sports. He's knowledgeable about all of them. And of course, a lot of his shows are, focused on the Sooners, and that's what most people want to talk to him about. But he gets into pro baseball, Thunder, which again, the Thunder's on a 9-game winning streak. Who'd have thunk that this year?
No, I definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah, they are longest winning streak in franchise history.
Wow. Even when we had Durant and Westbrook
and Harden at the same time, they never put 9 games together.
Wow.
In a row. That's
by the way, I did get to walk right across the court the other day when the Boston Celtics were out there warming up. Just FYI.
Yeah, I know you sent me the picture of the floor, like I believe the Boston Celtics were.
I promise they were, but as I was trying to take that picture, I was like, okay, they're gonna think I'm really creepy here. So I kind of aimed the camera down at the last second when they started looking at me, like, why are you walking across the court? By the way, I was not the tallest one. In fact, I may have been the shortest
one out there. Yeah. Well, Rob sends me this picture of the Celtics on the floor at the peak, and I went, I don't see any Celtics. There was no Celtics in the picture.
Well, I was trying to take a video, but you don't want to act like you're taking a video, because they were just warming up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is really. They're gonna be like, hey, what are you doing?
Well, you got your all access. Just go, hey.
Well, I know that's how I got there in the first place, but still, you don't want somebody walking up to you with a camera while you're warming up, So I didn't take any more, but.
Oh man, did you get to watch any of the Tyson, Wilder Fury fight?
Watched it all from the. Yeah, watched it all.
Watched it all. I didn't get to. I
you didn't watch it?
No, I was watching Hot Chicks playing my favorite band's music.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I was at the Iron Maidens.
Dude, you missed a pretty good fight.
Yeah, Caleb sent me a message and said, that Fury won like I thought he would, and he said it wasn't even close. It was just a beat down.
Close. Have you heard what Wilder is saying now? So, did you see his entrance? At all? So you seen that on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
He's saying that whole get-up weighed 40 pounds.
And he wore himself out?
Wore him out. I'm like, you walk 20 feet from the locker room to the ring. Come on.
Well, did you hear what Fury said, though, why he fought the way he did, which is, I've seen highlights and I watched the YouTube highlights and stuff, but, he said the 12th round of the last fight when he basically got knocked out and got back up, Fury did.
Right. Which he was winning that fight easily too.
But he realized in the 12th round that Wilder couldn't fight backing up. That he goes that it just stuck with me, and so that's what we wanted to do was put him on his heels, make him back up.
And the whole fight.
Yeah, and he was not comfortable backing up.
But at the same time, you could also see that Fury was making sure he wasn't susceptible to that big right hand. And
I know the
whole fight.
The replays that I saw, especially in the first couple of rounds, I mean, Wilder was throwing it like from the upper deck.
Mm-hmm.
He was wanting to knock him out. What'd you think about Fury tasting his blood?
Well, so did you actually see it? Because he really didn't lick him.
Yeah, but he acted like it.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, but he didn't.
Yeah, still, I mean.
Well, he's already in the ring with a guy that could probably kill you with a punch. So he's, everything's not just, in a row up there upstairs anyway. So, I didn't have a problem with it. If he'd have actually licked his blood, that would have been.
Yeah.
But listen, Fury had blood all over his face because he was connected.
Yeah, and blood was splattering everywhere. So,
and in fact, I don't think Wilder connected any solid blows the whole fight.
Yeah, I didn't see. Like I said, I didn't get to see the whole fight, but I if there would have been any solid punches thrown by him, I think the YouTube videos of the highlights would have showed them. But it was all just Fury, just going off on him.
And let me say this: that fight went too long.
Really?
Because Fury was, or Wilder was stumbling around, and it looked like he was having a hard time focusing.
Yeah.
And
well, his coaches are the ones who stopped it.
And I think they let it go a little too long because he was whipped. Fury, if he would have been on the attack, he would have hurt him bad.
Yeah.
And Fury was even when Wilder was hurt, it didn't seem like Fury was on the attack mode. And so it lasted longer than it should have. But had Fury just attacked, dude, he would have hurt him.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wanted to see it, but, I sent you a picture of my new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name's Wanda. Wanda Ortiz.
Yeah, but Fury's jabs were thudding. That jab was landing.
For a guy that's 6'9" and almost 300 pounds, the guy knows how to box. He's not somebody that big. You usually don't see that with that good and skilled of boxing skills. He's a good boxer. He's not a fighter. He's a great boxer, not a good one. He's a great boxer.
Yeah. But I got to give it to Wilder because Fury landed a lot of hard hits and he stayed on his feet. Wilder knocked him down several times.
Yeah.
But some of them he was just dizzy and he fell. But Fury hit him in the chest one time so solid it knocked him down.
Yeah, I saw that one. Hit him with that left hook. And
he's strong.
Yeah. Oh, do you think you could take one of those punches?
For how much? For free? No. And not only no, but now if you're going to throw some, stash in on it. Then
yeah, $1,000 for every punch you could take.
1,000?
I don't think they'd cover a hospital bill for a broken rib.
He could. If he hits you in the kidney, he could actually rupture something.
Hit you in your kidney and your kids all pee.
He hits you so hard your grandchildren be born naked. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If we're talking about, maybe 10,000 a punch, I'm all in. As long as I can stand up in here, you just swing away, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to just let him hit me, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to run.
Now, see, I would think 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would do it anymore. I don't think I would, even for $10,000 a punch. You know why, Rob? Today I was getting up out of my desk and out of my chair at my desk.
You pulled a muscle?
I almost pulled a hamstring. I swear to God.
All right.
I stood up and the back of the right leg just kind of, I was like, ooh, and I had to straighten it out real slow.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm just sitting there doing my work like I always do, and I got to get up. And I had to, so if I'm almost pulling hammies, if I'm going to have to start stretching before I go to work or before I go to sit down in my office, I'm not going to get in the ring with anybody anymore.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
That's what's, bad about getting old.
Yeah, it definitely is. But just think how you'd feel after getting hit 5 or 6 times from Mr. Fury, or even Wilder for that matter.
Yeah.
Like, they'd definitely have to chase me down.
Yeah.
Which they would, because I wouldn't run very far. But
well, and you're in a ring, so.
Yeah, how far can you run?
Yeah, I think it's 16 feet.
I could run 16 feet then.
But yeah,
and maybe if I cried really loud, he wouldn't hit me so hard. So
yeah, but
2, 3
I
punches.
did almost get into a fight Saturday night at the concert.
Was one of the girls?
No. I would not fight one of the girls.
Oh, okay.
There was some yahoos. Okay, those of you who don't know, I'm a big hard rock fan, heavy metal fan. Iron Maiden's my favorite band, and I don't care what anybody says, so it's the greatest heavy metal band of all time. Period. Not rock and roll. Didn't say rock and roll. I said heavy metal.
Right.
Yes, all you Metallica fans. If it wasn't for Iron Maiden, there would be no Metallica. That simple. Anyway, so the Iron Maidens is the tribute band. Okay, and the all-female tribute band to Iron Maiden. Lovely ladies, by the way. Lovely ladies. Especially Wanda.
Easy there, big fella.
But these guys, it's not mosh pit music. And there was a group, about 4 guys.
They wanted to jump up and...
No, they was trying to start a mosh pit. I'm in the middle. I'm sitting here listening to the music, enjoying the view, having a good time with Scott. Scott was there. And these guys start running into everybody.
Oh, my God.
I had to pull up my fist a couple of times when they would start to run. And, just, with the elbow back going, don't. Finally, after about 3 or 4 minutes of them knocking people down and people getting up and, everything, the security guards finally come in there and grab them and drag them out by their ears. But
you should have just dope-popped one of them.
The dope-pop? What is it?
You know what dope-popping is?
What's a dope-pop? No, I don't.
Well, I'm not sure, but just use your imagination.
Okay. A dope-pop. We'll have to look that up. What is a dope-pop?
It's in the dictionary, I'm sure.
Is it? Let me see. Let's see what Google says. Is that D-O-pop or...
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna say it's D-O-U-G-H.
Dope pop. I don't know. You didn't find anything? Well, Google's wrong. Okay. Just FYI.
No, it's Urban Dictionary.
There we go. Bring it on.
Well, there's two. There's two. Dope pop in the South, mainly Texas, means hit something really hard.
See, I'm right on.
Okay,
right on, Gary.
I'm going to dope pop you if you don't leave me alone. We're going to start using that dope pop.
I told you.
Like that.
Listen, I'm down. I'm down with the new lingo.
Now the other definition in Urban Dictionary. Well, let's call it. Well,
is it one you can't?
I can't.
I don't know.
I'll read the Urban Dictionary. It's called Papado.
That's a restaurant.
No, do you know what a Papado is?
No, I think we probably should change the subject.
No, it involves 3 albino midgets, a cactus, a slip and slide, sometimes a toaster oven, and a gallon of milk always helps.
It's party time now. My goodness.
That's all it says. I'm about to pop a dough, son. Santo, what does that even mean? I don't. So that's a pop a dough.
Dough pop is a thing.
Dough pop them. It's just pop them really hard. Hit them really hard.
Mm-hmm.
See, we've all learned something. Dough pop them. So, what else? But anyway, no, the Iron Maiden concert, the Iron Maidens, got to meet the band, get my picture taken with the band.
I've seen that.
Yeah, sent you a picture of Wanda.
He sent me a picture with the whole band, and I said, I'm in love with her. And he said, who? And I said, pick one.
Yeah, pick one. Yeah. And they're very good musicians. It wasn't, the girls.
Good music then?
Flat out.
Wow.
Rock. The lead singer could wail. Good band, good show. Really had a good time. Scott went with us, and Scott almost got into a fight himself.
Really?
Now we're talking about it after. The thing about people trying to start a mosh pit is, they want to be shoved. So when they bump up against you and you shove them, they think you're.
Oh, you're participating.
Yeah, and you're like, no, you dumbass,
So
stop.
you wake up an hour later after I knocked you out. Is that part of that? Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I ran into some old buddies from McAllister who came up. I knew they were going to come up. Ran into another guy I played high school ball with.
Hey, by the way, I am wearing my next Talon shirt.
You're wearing your next Talon shirt, yeah. So, but no, I had a good time. It was my birthday, so it was a very good birthday. And they didn't sing happy birthday to me, though. I was a little bit disappointed.
Aww.
But bought me an Iron Maiden's T-shirt and got them all to sign the back. And females who are famous have pretty signatures.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll show it to you afterwards. They're all nice and they're readable.
Oh, nice.
Especially Wanda's.
Does Miss Teresa know
Yeah,
about
she
this?
knows about Wanda.
Okay.
Me and Scott were talking about Wanda afterwards.
Uh-huh.
So, now she's about, I don't know, probably not quite 5 foot tall. If she's 5 foot tall.
Little bitty, huh?
Yeah, she's
kind of like Lori from the Lake
No,
House
she's not.
Lodge.
She hasn't been, her growth wasn't stumped at birth. Everybody's taller than Lori.
That's
Come on.
51, Terry Long, 51.
Yeah, Lori is shorter than any person I've ever met. So,
Okay.
or
Besides
any person that I know. See, because I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody any shorter than Lori.
So if we had a toaster and some milk, Lori would be right in for a pompadour.
Yeah, we're going to figure out how to play that game and get Lori to play it with.
Just for the record, Lori, I don't know what it is.
Speaking of crazy woman, I saw a deal today too.
Oh boy, Lori, I really do love you. It's Terry. It's Terry.
But a Florida woman was accused of killing her boyfriend by zipping him up in a suitcase.
Well, how did that kill him? Did he suffocate in there?
Yeah, he suffocated.
Or did she zip him up and then just beat the suitcase?
Yeah, it said she was 42 years old from Orlando, accused of zipping her boyfriend inside a suitcase, and she's facing murder charges. She told the police she put him in a suitcase during a game of hide and seek, and they were drinking alcohol, and she passed out in her bed while he was still in the suitcase. Okay, makes sense. A drunk game.
So I've got questions.
What are your questions?
So he agreed to be zipped up in this deal?
Well, apparently that's what it was. They were playing a game, but the deputy searched her phone. Okay, here's the dumb thing. Dumbest criminals in the world, and found video showing he was yelling that he couldn't breathe from inside the suitcase, and she can be heard laughing in the background, yelling obscenities and saying, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me."
Oh my gosh.
So somehow she convinced him to let her zip him up in a suitcase for a game.
Dear, would you put this plastic bag over your head? This is going to be fun, I promise. Okay.
I'm not letting anybody zip me up into anything, man.
Listen.
If Teresa ever goes, "Hey, let's zip you up in a suitcase," no.
You're not going to go for that?
No. For one, Teresa has watched every How to Kill Your Husband show and not get away with it. That she knows how to get away with it. I'm convinced. So,
and the insurance policy that she took out.
That's why. That's all. No, yeah, she's only asked me twice. So, we should get more insurance. No, we don't. She's got enough money to put me in the ground and last for about 6 months.
Oh boy.
That's after me being gone 6 months.
She's
on
weighing
her
the
own.
options here. She's like, oh man, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. I'm not putting, every man, woman, child out there. I don't care either one. If you have a $500,000 or $1 million life insurance policy, on you or your spouse, all that is temptation.
Well, I don't think for any sane person.
No, it's temptation. You can't tell me, Rob, that if you were married and you had $1 million life insurance policy, and you and your wife got
I wouldn't be tempted to murder my wife.
You and your wife got into argument, you wouldn't go, "Man, I could sure use that $1 million right now." It would cross your mind.
Maybe if it was my ex-wife. Sorry about that, y'all.
I was going to say that, but
forgive me about that, Lord.
No, but $1 million life insurance is nothing but temptation.
I'd have to disagree with that, Terry. I think if I was married to a woman, which I probably will, or I won't ever be, there's no problem. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
You'd be okay with her taking out $1 million life insurance.
I wouldn't have that thought about her. Now, obviously, I'm single for a reason.
Yeah.
Obviously, nobody can put up with me. So, yeah, if somebody took out $1 million, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
On me.
I'm just saying, life insurance. Life insurance should put you in the ground and support your spouse for 6 months to a year.
Okay.
Then there's no temptation because it's like, well, if I kill him, I'm only good for 6 months.
If that person is if you're tempted to kill that person, if they have $1 million, you're probably tempted even if you don't have $1 million. No. Okay.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just telling you. If anybody sits and looks and says $1 million, they wouldn't consider killing someone, they're lying.
I feel like you might be in the minority on this one, Terry. I'm just saying.
Nope. But why put that temptation out there? Even if you don't, why put it out there? Just get enough to get me in the ground.
I think there's possibly a little serial killer in you.
Nope. No, there's not.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
There is no serial killer in me. It's just common sense.
Okay.
And y'all can at me if you don't agree with me, but $1 million life insurance is a bad idea. Idea.
All right.
Oklahoma Sooner baseball notes, Rob.
Yeah.
We've told everybody we're going to be following baseball a little bit closer. I've been trying to. I haven't got out to a game yet, but I've been watching the stats. Junior outfielder Tanner Treadway was named the Big 12 Player of the Week.
Dude can play.
He hit 500 last week with 8 extra base hits. He went 12 for 24 at the plate, compiling a 1.125 slugging percentage in 6 games. He tallied 6 RBIs, 7 runs, 3 doubles, 3 triples, and he hit his first 2 home runs at OU. He led the Big 12 last week in hits, triples, total bases, runs scored, home runs, and was second in RBIs and slugging percentage.
They got a lot of kids right now. They're just playing good. Him and Connor McKenna and Brady Lindsley, they're all doing really well. They're going to be good this year.
Yeah. They are ranked number 15 by Baseball America and Perfect Game, and number 22 by D1 Baseball. Their record right now is 7-2. They went 5-1 last week. They beat Texas Southern at home 14-1 and 12-1, and they won 3 of 4 at home against Illinois State. They won 2-1, 4-1, 3-2, and lost the finale 5-5. Yeah. And they will be, as Rob said earlier, at the Shriners Hospital Classic at Minute Maid Park in Houston. They play number 9 Arkansas on Friday. Then they play Missouri on Saturday, and number 14 LSU on Sunday. So 17 players recorded a hit and 13 players scored a run last week. OU has had 15 stolen bases so far this year, Rob. And then 2019, guess how many stolen bases they had?
And you mean last year?
Yeah.
12.
29. So they've stolen more than half the bases in, 9 games that they stole the entire season last year.
Yeah. Coach Johnson has really got it going on. He's a good coach.
Yeah. Junior Tyler Hardman hit 350 in 6 games with 6 of his 7 hits going for extra bases. Freshman third baseman Peyton Graham hit 385 in a 4-game series against Illinois State. Junior Cade Cavalli, that's a good name, Cade Cavalli went 7 innings, striking out 9 batters and scattering a walk and 6 hits in the series opener on Friday.
So last year, Cade Cavalli, when he wasn't pitching, they inserted him into the lineup so he could hit because the kid can play. But I was told by somebody, I'm not going to say who, mostly because I don't know his name, that they're not going to do that with him this year. He's just going to focus on pitching.
Yeah.
So
Wyatt Olds struck out 9 batters and over 6 innings and just 1 run on 1 hit. That's a pretty good outing.
Yeah, well, with him and Abrams and Cavalli, they got a really good staff.
Jason Ruffcorn, another good name,
It's a good name.
Earned the save in both games Friday. He worked around a hit and got a strikeout to end the game, then retired all 3 batters in the second game. Junior Aaron Brooks retired all 5 batters he faced in the first game of Saturday's doubleheader, striking out 4 of them to earn his second career victory at Oklahoma. Junior catcher Justin Mitchell hit .417 in 3 games, 4 RBIs and a stolen base. He caught a runner-stealer and picked off a runner at first base. Freshman Jake Bennett made his first appearance and first start on the mound for the Sooners on Wednesday. He struck out the side in the first inning and finished the outing with 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. And sophomore Ben Abrams pitched 5 scoreless innings on Tuesday, striking out 5 and only just 2 hits in his first appearance. So it sounds like and looks like from everything I've seen, and guys, you can get this report on I guarantee. I'll tell you the one thing: Soonersports.com does great with their baseball. It's just stats, just like this, and that's where I got all this stuff from, with Soonersports.com. But looks like the baseball team's pretty. I think this weekend it'll obviously show with playing a couple of ranked teams, Arkansas and LSU. See how they do against those two.
Listen, LSU's always good at baseball.
Yeah,
always.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe because it doesn't get cold. They can play year round. I don't know.
Year round. Yeah, and they're playing down there, but the softball team's playing here. We've talked about this before. I can't watch any sport in the cold anymore. The last Sooner home game. You and I were there. I was miserable.
Well, you got to get some Arctic gloves, and you got to get dressed right. And
remember when my hometown team, the McAllister Buffaloes, were playing in the state championship a couple years ago, and we were planning on going to Stillwater to watch the game. They're going to be playing. Who was? I can't think of who. They weren't playing James. They're not 6A. I think it was Tulsa, the Cardinals. Doggone it. Anyway, we decided not to go because it was like 10 degrees that day, and wind chill was like -5. And I text you because if you were going to go, I was going to go. Yeah. It was one of those deals. Like, I'm not going to text Rob and say, hey, man, I don't want to go. It's too cold. And I text Rob and say, well, you still up for the game tonight? And Rob's reply was, it's too cold. I don't want to go.
Yeah, I know. I ain't trying to play that. No.
Yeah. So, this weekend was probably too cold this past weekend for me to watch baseball. Watch any sport outside.
It was cool out there.
Yeah.
I was standing in the sun, and it's still pretty cool.
And because the wind comes through that stadium weird. I guess it's because of the, it's built on it. They built the mound, the hill for the stands. I guess that has something to do with it. I don't know. Keeps that the wind. There's no wind block out there to me.
Right. It just comes right up the stands.
Yeah.
Of course, before the game started, I was in the club, so that was nice. Yeah. But when the people showed up,
they kicked you out.
I got kicked out. So
the people that paid to be there came.
Right.
Yeah.
I left.
But I'm looking forward to it. If they were home this weekend, it's supposed to be like 75 on Saturday, so I might have caught a baseball game this weekend had we been in at home. But I'm going to keep an eye. And we'll let folks know when we're going to be out there, and if y'all want to come and join us for a baseball game. So, or we'll just sit out there and by ourselves and watch it. You got to remind me when Bring Your Pet to the Park Day is.
I will.
Because Rascal will come out there and about kill himself being friendly to everybody. But pretty much all that's going on with Sooner football this week that I could, that I've seen is the combines start tomorrow. Or, excuse me. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Holy cow. Start tomorrow. Oklahoma has 4 players in the combine. Neville Gallimore, Jalen Hurts, Ceedee Lamb, and Kenneth Murray all received invites. Parnell Motley did not. Did we talk about that? I know me and Caleb did, but
I don't think we did.
What are your thoughts on?
Well, so if you're undersized like Parnell is, then you got to bring something to the table like blazing speed, and I don't think Parnell does. So, yeah, he's going to have to really earn his way. Probably the only way he's going to get looked at is when OU has a pro day and they invite some scouts down. Not everybody will come, but he'll get his opportunity then. And I think he could probably make a practice squad, or who knows. But he's talented. I think I think he's talented. Yeah. But is he talented? And can they overlook his size because he's not that big? And then if he gains some speed, which I'm sure he's been working on that. He's probably faster than he was.
Yeah.
Corners in the NFL are not
little.
5'11",
Yeah.
180.
Yeah, they're not.
They're
not.
6'2", 205. And they
They look like me and you.
Right.
Ripped with muscle and
of course marble.
Yeah. Marble. But what I wanted to do is I went through and I pulled out this guy's one of the NFL Combine analysts and that went through and he rated all the players.
Yeah.
And their strengths and weaknesses and little deal. So I'm going to read this stuff, and we'll just see if we agree with them or not on these points.
Works for me.
Okay. Yes. Let's start with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
It still surprises me. I mean, I guess it shouldn't. He did go to OU last year, but the college he's representing in the combine and in the draft is Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
So that's what it has him listed. Now they talk a little bit about him, but for those of you wondering, his number at the combine is QB08. So watch for QB08 during the combine if you watch any of that. He is 6'1", 222 pounds, 31 3/4 inch arm length, hands 9 3/4 inches,
which is about average, right?
Yeah. And this is by Lance Zierlein, NFL analyst. NFL comparison to player. Who do you think they compare him to as a player in the NFL? Doesn't have to be an active player.
Okay. Drew Brees?
Nope.
Or let's see.
Not even close.
Not even close.
He's not playing in the NFL right now.
Not playing now. So it's going to be somebody like oh gosh, his name escapes me. It's going to be like a Vince Young type, but you can't compare him to Vince Young. So go ahead.
You're more on it. Tim Tebow. His overview: like Tim Tebow, Hurts is a winning dual-threat quarterback known for his strength, toughness, and character.
Well, the difference between them is Tim Tebow's 6'5".
Yeah.
So I don't think you can compare him. And he's more of a runner than Tebow
Yeah,
was.
it's Hurts is more accurate passer and a better runner than Tebow.
Yeah.
But is inconsistent with his decision making and tends to break the pocket when throws are there to be made. His deep ball touch and intermediate accuracy improved this year, so teams may see him as a developmental talent.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So at Oklahoma, we feel like we probably have one of the best quarterback coaches in the nation,
right,
in Lincoln Riley. So is there a team out there that's going to have a quarterback's coach that's going to be able to develop him even more?
I think so.
Because if that's the case, then he could be a fantastic pro quarterback.
Yeah. Here are his strengths, which I don't think this is a strength. I mean, there may be a leadership strength. Finished 38-4 record as a starter. I don't know that that's a strength, but
would he have if he played at Oklahoma State?
No.
Okay.
Nobody would if they
right.
played at Oklahoma State.
Doesn't matter, yeah. What about Joe Burrow? If Joe Burrow played at Oklahoma State, would he finish 38?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Tremendous leadership quality. That's an up, and I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
I don't know.
His teammates had a lot of respect for him.
Yeah,
they voted him captain.
They did. I don't know. I think some people may have got tired of the whole rat poison kind of mentality. Yeah. You know, this is a game when let's have some fun.
Yeah,
but
good point.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Extremely tough and durable. I'll agree with that. I mean,
I definitely agree with that.
Especially that Baylor game, the first one. I mean, dude, he's
an elite athlete, dude. Not like, okay, so Baker is a professional football player.
Yeah.
I don't really consider Baker an elite athlete.
No, he's a great football player.
He's a great football player, no doubt about it. And I think he's a great quarterback. But Jalen Hurts is an elite athlete.
He shows poised to make plays late in games. Maybe. I'm not sure about that. What do you think? I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess the Georgia SEC championship. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he can make.
So it's hard to say because he was at Alabama. Listen, Alabama is going to be good if I played quarterback.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not taking anything away from Jalen. Obviously, I think he's a great quarterback, but I don't know that he's an elite quarterback.
Right. He has experience in a variety of schemes. I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, hell, Lincoln Riley's offense is a variety of schemes within itself.
Yeah.
Able to step up and drive with adequate velocity. I agree with that. Adequate velocity. He doesn't throw the ball overly. Uses athletic ability and strength to elude pocket pressure. And they get into that in the weaknesses too. So play extender who can make big plays on the move. Good accuracy on intermediate passes. Capable as a rollout passer. Talented, powerful runner from direct snap and RPO. Leg drive to move piles and fall forward behind his pads. I agree with most of those there, don't you? Strengths?
Yeah.
Weaknesses. Has issues sustaining rhythm as a passer with so many different off-schedule throws. Inconsistent patience allowing routes to develop. We talked about that during the season, did we not?
Well, yeah, but then a lot of people are going to say, well, it's hard when you're flushed out of the pocket to stay in that same rhythm. But listen, I don't care where you're playing, unless you're playing with the 92 Cowboys offensive line, you're going to run for your life sometimes. It is football.
Slow recognition of early throw opportunities.
Okay.
We talked about that during the season.
That,
Leave slants and crossers behind targets.
Sometimes.
Yep. Misses checkdowns and opts for the harder throws.
Sometimes.
Missed
check down when he should have been throwing deep to Ceedee sometimes. Yeah.
Deep arm dip into elongated release. I guess that means that when he throws the ball deep, it takes him too long to get rid of it. Here's one, that force speedsters at OU and Alabama to slow down on deep throws because he couldn't get it down the field as fast as they could run.
Well, so, okay. If you're going to say that, then how can you say that he had adequate velocity on the good side? Because that is totally contradicting.
I think what they're saying is mid-range adequate. His deep balls, he doesn't throw the deep ball as far as what a lot of players do.
Okay.
Quick to drop his eyes when pressure mounts. More likely to void pocket than to climb, step up, scan, or throw from it. Needs to get better trusting his pocket. Now, granted, last year he had a young offensive line, that got better during the season. But these are things that these scouts looked at Alabama and Oklahoma. They're just not taking one season into effect.
Well, there were several games where he was quick to pull it and run.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot.
Down.
Well, like you said, there was times when, the game that you and I watched, at home, the one game you got to go to, there were how many times we both sit there and CD's by himself down here. If he'd have just waited a half second longer, CD was breaking the deep pass,
and he was too quick to pull it and run. Yeah.
So, it doesn't show where they think he's going to go. I've heard, third round to the Steelers. My Steelers have done a terrible job either drafting quarterbacks since Roethlisberger got there and developing quarterbacks. So I'm not sure that the Steelers would be the best place for him, but I'm not going to complain if they take him. Maybe they can get somebody to develop him.
So Landry now, is he lighting it up in Dallas at that XFL team? No, he didn't light it up.
No,
they won, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not, Okay. I mean, he's funny. He's a funny interview.
I didn't see the interview.
There was one where they talked where he was sliding trying to go down, and he stumbles and rolls.
Okay, I was going to say, well, that would be a problem with your development at Pittsburgh if he's lighting it up in Dallas. But I just seen that they won. I didn't see stats or anything like that.
I didn't watch the last game. I mean, honestly, I haven't really paid attention to the XFL as far as stats, but I turn it on and watch it. Just because it's football, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I did the same thing with the AAF last year.
Well, I probably wouldn't keep stats either, but I would definitely watch, people like Landry and Oklahoma players that might be there.
Who do you want to look at next, Rob? You want to look at Neville?
Yeah, let's look at Neville.
Neville Gallimore.
6'2", 300?
304 pounds.
304.
32 3/4-inch arms and 9 5/8-inch fingers. NFL comparison, I don't know this guy. Quentin Jefferson?
No, don't know him.
They don't seem real high on him, which I don't understand.
Well, Neville's not going to get graded high until they run.
Yeah.
So if Neville runs a 4.5, 4.6 like they say he can, he's going to go up.
the thing that got me was this guy's talking about it, but in the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Bowl, they were showing him practicing just wearing offensive linemen out.
Yeah.
So his strengths: possesses untapped potential that teams can mold.
I don't like to hear that.
Motor runs hot, never takes plays off. I agree 100% with that. The guy was tackling quarterbacks and causing fumbles from behind down the field. Above average snap quickness. Hands are active and carry some pop into contact. Punch and works to find the edge as a nose rusher. Spins out of stalled midline rush looking for secondary shot.
So, wait, is he going to go D-tackle or is he going to go nose guard?
Nose guard.
Okay.
Able to force his way in once he gets under the edge. Hustles down the line or downfield to chase running backs. Never content, always looking for work.
That's the kind of guy you want, right?
Yeah. Weaknesses: he plays way too tall, which means he stands up on snap.
Well, he's 6'2". He's going to be 3 inches shorter than the offensive lineman across from him, always.
Allows blockers to play under his pads, unable to defend and anchor against down blocks, below average contact balance, lacks desired coordination and body control. But I didn't see that. I didn't see that at the Reese's workouts. Unable to skinny up into the gaps.
Really?
Ends up on the ground way too often. Inconsistent hands to counter and shed block, but you just said he has good hands above. Rigid movement, inside pocket limits sacks success. Fails to create momentum despite initial quickness at spot. I think Neville Gallimore is big enough, and the things that he's done in the weeks coming up, I think he's going to be one of those diamonds in the rough. I think somebody's going to get him.
Because you know what it didn't say in there? Always double teamed.
Yeah.
Always double teamed.
Yeah.
He always had the center guard. Always. Seemed like.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny is like Oklahoma had him in the gaps, but he might be more effective improving his hands and learning the two gap. He knows the two gap. Oklahoma stopped the two gap last year, so he knows the two gap. But
yeah, I think he's going to do well. I mean, he might not be a first round pick, but whoever gets him, they'll develop him. He'll be a starter.
He'll be a rotation player for sure.
He will.
I mean, let's jump on CD here. And by the way, Neville Gallimore's number for the draft is DL11. DL11.
All right.
Ceedee Lamb, Oklahoma wide receiver, number in the what is this? Combine is WO33. Height 6'2", 198, 32 1/4 inch long arms, 9 1/4 inch hands.
So his hands are the same as Neville Gallimore.
Yeah. NFL comparison, Chad Johnson.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought Chad was a little bigger than that. But
in that Ocho Cinco?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that who that was?
Chad Johnson. No.
No,
that's not Chad. I don't know.
No.
Chad Johnson played for the Lions, right?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, see, we don't know a lot.
We don't, especially about pros, or I don't anyway. But so CD obviously is a, what has he got, 0% body fat or something?
Yeah.
and the dude is chiseled. I mean, he's got
Yeah, wait till you hear what they say about his body here in a second, Rob.
All right. So
big play talent. His strengths: big play talents at all three levels on the field.
Wow.
Havoc wreaker with the ball in his hands. Averaged 21.4 yards per catch as primary target in 2019. Changes route tempo and speeds to rock coverage to sleep. Glider who separates on all forms of crossing routes. Able to gather and open suddenly on back shoulders and comebacks. Awareness and working back to throws. Hand catches with good arm extension. Bouncy hops for jump balls. Makes late body adjustment to secure difficult catches. A slippery open field runner with excellent vision. Has deceptive strength to shake free from arm tackles. Duh. Ask Texas about that. Mm-hmm. Offers an instant upgrade as a punt returner. You agree with all those strengths?
Absolutely.
Weaknesses. Slender build.
Okay.
Slender.
Well, he's 192. I mean.
Slender was when he came here from high school. The boy.
Well, if he gained 5 pounds and 8 pounds and he was 200, 6'2", 200.
Yeah.
I mean, that's prototypical pro wide receiver right there. So I think that's a bit harsh.
Slender build for consideration as a primary target. That's what it says. Frequently unchallenged by cornerbacks he played. Maybe that's just because he was so damn good.
Well, when you're chasing him, it's hard to challenge him. I'm just saying.
Needs faster, more efficient press release against pro corners. Must learn intricacies of uncovering underneath. Routes need to be more focused and purposeful. I don't know what that means.
That's somebody writing something just because they're getting paid.
Yeah. Wasted motion and steps setting up his brakes. Okay. And they just said the opposite up above. Could struggle with adjustments to combat catches. Again, their scheme created feast in wide open spaces. And that's where they're saying that, he's so good because the scheme set him up for that. Can do a better job as a stock blocker. I saw him put guys on their backs. So
yeah, I still think he's a first-round pick. And everything that you just brought up on his weaknesses, I think they're all easily worked on by, pro coaches. And I think he develops into a really good pro football player.
Yeah, I would love to see him go to my Steelers. But... You
think he's a first rounder?
Oh yeah, he's first rounder.
Yeah, I think so. Last but not least,
K9 Kenneth Murray. His combine number is LB27. LB27. 6'2".
It's not bingo, by the way.
Yeah, 6'2", 241 pounds, 32 3/4 inch arms, longer arms than any of the other Oklahoma players, and 9.5 inch hands. So. Means he wears big gloves.
That's what I mean.
I don't know who Quan Alexander is, who the NFL comparison is. Strengths. Playmaking speed to mark up a stat sheet. Okay. Very decisive and willing to take chances. Runs and moves like a safety in space. Fires into gaps and can put offenses behind the change. Averaged nearly 15 tackles for loss in the last 2 seasons. Can make all the tackles if kept clean. Weaves and rolls downhill to close the distance on running backs. Ridiculous range from sideline to sideline. I agree with that. That's the best.
Listen, if somebody's describing your abilities and they use the word ridiculous,
that
is a good thing. Yeah.
Instant burst to the ball from a standstill. Scrape speed to stay square with the line of scrimmage. He can spy, blitz, rush off the edge on passing downs.
So the weaknesses, I'm pretty sure what they're going to be. But
okay. Weakness, needs to temper urgency with additional patience. Okay. But again, one of his strengths was very decisive and willing to take chances. Mm-hmm. But he needs to temper his urgency. Misdirected out of position multiple times by the same play against Kansas State. Okay. That was a play that nobody had ever seen before. Nobody had ever ran before. People like Teddy Lehman and JY who played football, and people said they'd never seen that play and that blocking scheme run before. It won't work again against people because they ran it right, but now people are going to be looking for it. So, instincts and fit recognition are spotty as an inside linebacker. Desire to make plays clouds judgment on angles. Must improve strength and hand usage for take-on duties. Can be erased from gaps by a square block. Needs to play better with balance and control as an open field tackler. Hard flows turn to overflows.
Wow. I mean, we've seen that.
Yeah, he goes too hard. But
you know what? They didn't bring up anything about his coverage skills.
Yeah. Because can't remember ever doing anything in coverage.
Well, I mean,
it's probably because his coverage skills weren't there.
I felt like that was his weakest part as a linebacker was, dropping back in coverage, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be a good pro linebacker.
Yeah. But I think all the Oklahoma guys are predicted by the third round, I think, third or fourth round.
What do you think he is, a second rounder? Third?
I think he's a second rounder.
Yeah.
I think it's Kansas City who's got the second round pick that people are talking.
That he might go to KC?
Yeah, he might go to Kansas City.
But he'd like that.
Oklahoma is the only program that has produced at least 4 NFL draft picks each of the last 12 seasons. Last year, 8 Sooners were drafted, the program's most since 2005. Each of the last 2 number 1 overall picks were Sooners, of course, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. So, speaking of Baker Mayfield, you hear the Cleveland analyst reporter got suspended, ESPN and some other things for calling him a midget.
I did not hear.
And he called him a fat midget, I think is what he called him.
All right. Well, that's rude.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is the guy is shorter than Baker, so they called Baker a midget.
Okay.
But he got and it was just he thought the mics were off and oops.
Well, all right then.
But what else is going on, Rob? Anything else we need to talk? If you have a chance, do you watch the combine or anything like that?
No, I don't have TV. I mean, I have a TV and I have like Netflix, but I don't have ESPN or anything like that. So,
if you did, would you watch the combine?
Probably not.
I watch it a little bit just to see. It's a good thing to nap to. Because there's not a lot of action in it, and
so you can go back on YouTube and watch whoever you want. So I'll probably go back and watch our guys, do whatever they do, but I won't watch the whole thing.
Yeah. And since you don't have TV, you don't know that Better Call Saul started.
What?
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till the whole season's out and then put it out on Netflix.
Well, I got it here. I got it recorded. If you want to come over and watch it, I watched the first 2. They had one Sunday night and one Monday night.
They've already had 2?
Yeah, they had one Sunday night and Monday night.
Right.
And they have a little preview. I'll let you watch the preview thing when we're done. But it's the exciting thing that Vince Gilligan said is that they're getting closer. They're getting very close to overlapping with Breaking Bad.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Of course, Mike's, still a badass this year.
Yep.
And, it's the first 2 were really good. I really liked that show.
Okay.
But
yeah, I might have to, I don't know, what station would I have to rent or buy or whatever to get?
A&E, isn't that what the Breaking Bad was on? It's on A&E.
A&E?
Yeah.
Do they have their own? Can I just get A&E or do I
think
get
so.
a package? Because I don't want to get a package.
You got.
I'm just not there enough to sit down and watch.
You got that net TV, right? Internet TV.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Listen, if it ain't on Netflix or Disney Plus.
Well, I doubt it's on Disney Plus, but
I can watch
get Casey to come over. Get Casey to come over and find A&E. Better Call Saul. If there's a guy who can find it, Casey's the guy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Now, so I obviously I want to watch sports. So he came over and showed me how to, there like that whole boxing match.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you might have gone to B-Dubs or something and watched it.
There's a website you can go to, and I told him now I don't want to break any laws. I don't want nobody knocking on my door going, "Hey, you're watching this and everybody else is paying." I'm like, well, I don't know.
You don't want to be that guy in prison when you're sitting there and they go, "What are you in for? Murder?"
Right?
Bank robbery. I stole the fights on Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. Takes away from your prison cred right immediately, huh?
Yeah, I had to stab somebody to get my stars up. Gotta give him a rep up. I'm half a star.
So, I think we've talked about this before. They say when you go to prison, the way not to get messed with is to either be the baddest mofo or the funniest mofo.
Or go up to the baddest mofo and punch him right in his face.
Yeah. So well, you got to beat up the baddest. I mean, just punch him in the face and he stabs you 42 times. That doesn't do much for your cred, Rob.
Right. It's probably better, though, than, hiding in the corner, sucking my thumb, whimpering.
So you would go to be the comic.
Well, I don't know. I'd probably give it all a go.
Anything to keep them from coming up behind you, right?
I'd go up to the biggest, strongest guy in there, and I'd punch him right in the face, and I go, I was just joking.
Yeah.
See, that way I'm playing both sides.
Punch him in the face, go knock, knock. And when he says, who's there, you say, what was it, dough punch?
Dope pop.
Dope pop. A dope popped you in your face. There you go. There's a new knock knock joke. But anyway, well, I guess that's the podcast, guys. Thanks a lot for listening. Continue to listen. Share it with your friends on Facebook. Find a little icon there on what you're listening to. That two little dots with lines to them, and hit share and say, this is what I'm listening to. Get your friends to listen to us. But we appreciate everything, and we will see you next time. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
Hey, hold on, hold. Bag up, Terry. Put in reverse, Terry. Put in reverse. Oh, Lord.